Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas. And just real quick before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and thank you for all the feedback, all the emails, all your stories that you've been sharing on email. And thank you for the new followers or the new supporters. I really like how we're growing. We're growing organically. We're getting more followers, more listeners, and it's all thanks to you. But let's get into today's episode, shall we? Now, on today's episode, I received this question, and it's a very important question. The question that I received is, why do we need a why to keep fighting? Well, let me go ahead and ask you this. Are you even fighting for yourself? That's one of the things that I want to ask you as a spoonie or even as a caregiver or wherever you're going through. Are you fighting for yourself? Because when I was going through my own stuff, like going through the PTSD diagnosis and everything, I knew that I needed to get better, but I didn't really want it to get better for me. I had to find a reason why, and that reason was my wife. Once I figured out that I needed to do this for my wife, not even for me, that it was beyond me, it kind of pushed me. It kind of pushed me to actually go to therapy, get better, be able to be a good husband, be able to take care of my wife, be able to be a better person. So this is one of the reasons why we need an actual why. It has to be something bigger than you. It has to be something or someone that you care about, so you can say, like, you know what, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for this particular reason. It could be your son, it could be your kid, it could be your wife, it could be your spouse, it could be an organization that you can say, like, oh, this organization needs my help. It could be something that inspires you, something that actually moves you, and to say, like, you know what, I need to do this. Even though this is hard, I need to do it. That's why you need a why. Because, like I mentioned, we usually don't tend to fight for ourselves. Especially when you're a spoonie or you have some sort of, or you're facing something, you get tired. You get all upset because you don't want to keep fighting. It gets tiring. I understand. I get super tiring. So when you get tired, you're like, I'm just gonna take a break, or I'm just gonna do this. But if you have a why, like in my case, my why is my wife. So in this situation, every time I get tired, I'm like, okay, I need to do this for my wife. Like, and I'll give you this example. I like to do the podcast, but I used to be a very lazy person. So there are times where I'm like, I just don't want to do it. I'm tired. Like, I just want to take a break. But I'm like, no, I'm doing this to help people, and I'm doing this for my wife. So it pushes me to say, like, you know what? It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I'm still gonna do it, because the reward that I'm getting from it is more experience, more learning, more research, and I can show my wife that if I can get better, she can get better as well. And I can show that to other people as well, especially, with guys that are suffering from PTSD or some sort of mental health issue, or even with spoonies. Like, we are here to support each other, and that's why I'm doing it, because I want to show you guys that we can get better. It's just that we need the right information. Now that's one of the reasons why you need a why. Now, this is how we can help you. I found this information and I wanted to share with you how when you have a why, it can actually help you reach your goal. It could be in regards to health, money, whatever your goal is. But if you're a spoonie, obviously you want to get better. This is how having a why is gonna help you. And I'm sorry, I don't know if you have heard, but in Utah there's a lot of smoke right now, so it has affected my lungs. So sorry about that. But anyway, let's get back into the topic. So this is how having a why can help you. It helps you to stay focused And that's pretty much what I was mentioning. Like when I get distracted, which it happens a lot, it can my wife thinks that I have ADD, but I don't. I get distracted very easily, and then I don't want to do things. So when I say like no, I'm doing this for my wife or I'm doing this to help people, then it helps me to stay focused. And he also says this: when you know your life's purpose, it becomes easier to focus on what matters the most in your life. By keeping the focus on one particular goal, you are able to find your direction and stay away from distractions. Now that I've been using it this way, I can guarantee you, or I can tell you, like, yes, it does help me from staying on track with my goal, which, like I have said before, I don't know if you have heard of it, but their goal is to create a foundation that will help people probably with their medical bills, or if they're not able to afford some sort of treatment, we will help them. That's my main goal, because I've been there where we can't afford a medical treatment or anything like that, because unfortunately the healthcare system is not the best here. So I want to be able to help people that way, and that's my main goal, and I'm gonna reach it, all thanks to you. Now, the next thing that it helps you with, if you have a why, is that it makes you feel passionate about your goal. And that's true, because knowing your purpose helps you find your true passion, and the passion becomes an important driver for you to achieve something extraordinary. Whether it is a childhood dream or a newly adopted lifestyle, the passion will push you to reach your goals. And that is so true. It's like it says right there, if you want to change your lifestyle, which is the hardest thing to do. Like for example, like like I have mentioned before, they say that the keto diet or the paleo diet actually helps with inflammation, but not a lot of people want to do that. So you have to push yourself. You have to say that, you know what, I'm not doing this for me, because being on a diet kind of sucks. It's like, I'm doing this for this reason, because I want to be able to travel to this place, like you put a why as to why you're doing it. Now, it gives you clarity. People who know their purpose in life are unstoppable. They are true to their purpose and shape their life accordingly. People who don't know their purpose in life are not clear about what they want, and therefore waste their time on futile things. And that is so true, because like I have said, my main goal with this podcast at one point is to create a foundation. That I have the clarity of what I want and how I'm gonna reach it. I just need to obviously get better at it. So that's my purpose. I want to help people. So I have my goal. I have the clarity. Now I just need to get better at what I'm doing, and obviously the rest will follow. And I have to learn other things, do more research and things like that. So I have the clarity. So the same thing will happen to you once you have a very strong why. Now, it also makes you feel gratified. When you have a purpose in life, you express it constantly and base your decisions, thoughts, feelings, and actions around that overarching purpose. A person who knows their purpose tends to make greater impact through their work, which encourages a feeling of gratification. And that is so true. Like because like I said, my why is my wife. So I had to get better at what I'm doing. I had to learn a lot of things. And one of the things that happens is that I had to learn about her conditions, depression, how depression works, how what happens after she had her stroke, and things like that. So when I go to the doctor with her, I sometimes know more than the doctor. So that actually makes me feel good, because I'm like, well, this is what's happening, and the doctor might try to say like, no, but this is what happened, and I have the facts to actually back it up with information, so it actually makes me feel good, because I'm like, wow, I'm learning a lot. So you can feel grateful for that as well. Now, also, it enables you to live a value-based life. With purpose comes values, which are an integral aspect of a person's life. Values are the rules that guide our decisions in life and help define our goals. They are what they tell us. They are what tells us. Sorry, they are what tells us when they are on the right path or wrong path. and help us find what and connect with others who share our way or view in the world. Sorry, I guess I don't know how to read. Sorry. But that is so true, because when you have when you're trying to provide value, you're gonna try to find something or someone that can actually help you increase that value, like finding more information on the internet about your condition, how you can get better. So, or and sometimes, like for example, on the community page, you're gonna find people that are suffering the same way, that have tried other things, and if you ask for advice, they might tell you, like, okay, I have tried this, or this doctor does better things than this doctor, or like you can actually share your experiences, and then see what helps you. And I know I have talked about, like a don't ask for advice on social media, but what I'm saying in this case is, like, you can share your story, and somebody can say, like, oh, I have done this before, and then you can try it. But what I'm saying as well is, like, don't ask for advice in regards to medicines until you talk to your doctor, because you don't know if you're allergic to it, or if it's even gonna work for you. That's pretty much all I'm saying in this situation. And now, another thing that it does when you have a strong enough why is that it makes you live with integrity. Knowing your purpose in life helps you live with integrity. People who know their purpose in life know who they are, what they are, and why they are. And when you know yourself, it becomes easier to live a life that's true to your values, to your core values. And that is so true, because one of the things that happened, I mean, the way that I was raised, I didn't have any values, let's be honest. And I decided to read this book called Principles by Ray Dalio. It's actually a pretty good book. I recommend it, and it shows how he created his values, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't have values. So now that I'm starting to create my own values, I feel like I'm creating more integrity. But why did that started? Because I needed to get better in order for me to be able to help my wife. So sometimes your why is gonna help you become a better person no matter what. Also, it encourages trust. People who know their purpose report a surprising increase in synchronicity and serendipity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. In their lives. With all this comes a deepening of trust and faith in other people. Hence, they consider themselves an integral part of the universe. And that is so true, because you start trusting the process. Like, when you have a why, a strong enough why, like I said, this is gonna be bigger than you. You might be the Spoonie, and you might say, like, you know what, I want to do this. I need to get better because I want to see my son or my child getting graduated, going to the graduation or their wedding or something like that. So I'm going to get better. I'm going to try everything I want. So you trust your decisions, you trust your team, you trust all the people around you that are trying to help you. And that actually is going to help you get better. And just a few more things that I want to share with you here. It infuses an element of grace in your life. People living their life with a purpose often report to be living their life with grace as well. This quote by German poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe sums up the idea and intention at its best. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy. The change to draw back, always ineffectiveness. When you commit to living your life with a purpose, amazing things happen. And that is so true as well, because, and again, if you're trying to do it just for your own and you fail, you're not committed, you're gonna quit. This happens again. I've tried different diets and I quit because it's like, it's not for me, and I quit. And if you have done something like this, where you try to get better, it doesn't work, and then you quit. So you hesitate because it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna work, but if it's gonna work. But when you have a why, one of the things that happens, and that's one of the things that I know is, at least with me, is like, you know what, I'm going to try it, because if it works, it will help my wife. If it doesn't, then I learned something that it doesn't work, so I'm going to keep trying the next best thing, you know? That's one of the things that we have to keep trying, and that's why it's very important to have a why. It helps you find a flow in life. People who find their purpose tend to live in the flow of the universal stream of consciousness. They allow things to happen and change in their life rather than fighting against it. They tend to challenge themselves at battle against their fears. And that's so true, because like I said, you're not doing it for yourself. So you have to understand that even if you're scared, like for me, for example, doing the podcast at the beginning, I was scared, but I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this for me again. And I know that this is going to sound repetitive, but it is true. Like, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for my wife. And I'm doing it because I really do care about you, because I see what you guys go through because of my wife. And I want to bring that to light, you know? I want to bring that to light. I want you guys to be like, you know what? We're not alone. Because after, when my wife got sick and I saw her, like, you know, going through all her diagnoses, the doctors and everything, I was like, this system sucks. So you guys need more support, and I want to provide that support for you. And to be honest, if you know me personally, you know that I'm usually very quiet, but now I'm not. I actually talk a lot now. So, and the last thing here, the last point that I want to make in regards to having a why, is that it makes life even more fun. When people know their purpose in life, they enjoy every minute of it. They are able to take pleasure in living a purpose-driven life, and are better at tackling every situation in a creative way. Even the dullest thing becomes beautiful and creative when you're motivated by purpose. And that is so true, because I mean, recording the episodes, they might seem like dull, but I always have fun. I like to do them. That's why it actually makes it fun, like talking to my wife, reading. I've been reading a lot about, like, you know, like anxiety and all of these things, and it's actually fun because I'm learning. So and because I'm learning, when my wife is having like a depressive episode or anxiety, I can, you know, ask like some certain questions to see if she's actually to see how I can help her. And that's one of the things that I like, because a lot of people will not like that. Like, for example, if you're having an episode, whatever your illness is, your caregiver might get tired of it, but if you're the caregiver and your why is your spoonie, you're gonna be like, you know what, I need to dig deeper. I need to see why this is happening. That way I can give more information to the doctor. So that's one of the reasons why it's very important to have a why. It has to be a strong why. If you cannot be the why, the reason why you're doing or why you need to get better, then pick something that actually gives you energy, something that pushes you to get better. Like I said, your son, it could be your spouse, it could be something that you want to reach, you want to travel, something like once you choose that why, remember every time that you fall, like every time that you want to quit, remember why you started, remember why you choose that why, remember why you decided to pick that why, and then that's going to actually keep pushing you. And I'm just telling you exactly how I feel, because oh my gosh, I mean, it's tiring to do pretty much with life, and because of everything that's going on around with like recent events, obviously it gets more tiring. You just want to rest, especially if you're a spoonie. I mean, you have to deal with your own stuff and things like that. So you just have to remember that your why has to be strong. Once you find a strong enough why, I can guarantee you nothing can stop you. You're gonna do the research. You're gonna put out the effort. If you're a spoonie and you need to, let's say, just eat certain foods that actually will help you with your condition, you will do it. Even though you might have to stop eating sugar or something like that, you will do it, because your why will keep pushing you. And pretty much that's all I have for today. I hope you guys are enjoying the shows. And I know that the shows is thanks to your feedback, I know that the shows are getting better. Thank you for that. So once again, thank you for everything. Thank you for your support, your feedback. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And if you want to share your story, you can actually send it to me at the Caregiver and Spoonie@gmail.com. And I leave you like always, take care of yourself. Have a great day.